Yo, what's good everyone? Today I'm going to be breaking down some of my favorite DraftKings plays for tonight's 11-game slate in the NHL. Let's get right into it. And we're going to kick things off here like we always do, highlighting these 11 games in the NHL tonight, showing you the money lines and over-unders. First set of games here, we got the Rangers taking on the Bruins, Flyers at Hurricanes, Jets at Devils, Islanders at Red Wings, and the St. Louis Blues taking on the Ottawa Senators. Next set of games here, we got the Predators at Panthers, Sabres at Oilers, Canadiens at Canucks, Blackhawks at Ducks, Lightning at Sharks, and the Seattle Kraken taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. And then here's a schedule update to wrap up this week. Gonna have a video here today, obviously, but gonna be talking about both of those slates tomorrow and Saturday as well in my Discord. If you have not joined my Discord yet, it is completely free to do so, and there's a link to join it in the description below on this video. With all that said, let's dive into a couple of line stacks that I like here for tonight. Starting with that first line for the Carolina Hurricanes, we got Aho centering Gensel and Jarvis. Now, we've only seen these three play together now in one game, but any of these Canes lines that have featured Gensel so far have been nothing short of great. We've seen these three combined for 9 goals, 11 assists, 20 points in just their last 4 games, essentially averaging 5 points per game, and I love the correlation with all three playing up on the Canes' #1 power play, especially in this matchup here against Philadelphia, who has really struggled here as of late, allowing 4.80 goals per game while having a penalty kill around 61% over their last 5 games. Now, with 11 games here tonight, 22 different teams to choose from, there's quite a few different line stacks that I like heading into this slate, but if you're looking for a super cheap contrarian line stack, I'm talking if you want to spend up for a bunch of elite plays throughout the rest of your lineup, you can mix in this line here to bring your average salary down. It's that third line for the Vegas Golden Knights. You got Wass centering Stevenson and Mantha. Now, all three of these guys here in the 3K range make things very, very affordable, but you get strong correlation with all three of these guys playing on Vegas' #2 power play as well, and a good spot at home here against a Kraken team that's really slumped as of late, going 0-4-1 in their last 5 games, allowing 4 goals per game during that stretch, with a penalty kill that's hit at just a 75% rate. Now, folks, before we dive into some of my favorite individual plays here, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Continuing to build up this SlyDog Sports brand. Again, also want to mention my Discord is completely free to join. We got a lot of great people in there talking hockey on a daily basis. If you want to join that, there's a link to do so in the description below. Alright, now diving into some of my favorite individual plays here when I kick it off with the forwards, and I know I just highlighted that super cheap third line for the Vegas Golden Knights, but Jack Eichel's been playing some really good hockey for Vegas as of late too. In his last 10 games, he's got 5 goals, 7 assists, and love the way he's been shooting the puck, averaging close to 5 shots on net per game and close to 19 DraftKings points per game. He's also played very well against the Seattle team this year with 2 goals, 2 assists, 12 shots on net in 3 games, averaging close to 20 DraftKings points per game, playing up on Vegas' first line and #1 power play. I also like Brock Nelson here tonight in a good spot on the road against the Detroit Red Wings, who have really struggled as of late. They're 2-8-0 in their last 10 games, allowing over 4.5 goals per game with the penalty kill that's hit a 72% rate. Nelson's got 13 points here in his last 10, playing up on that first line and #1 power play. Now, we got a couple of guys here in revenge spots tonight, playing against the team that just recently traded them. First is Tyler Toffoli of the Winnipeg Jets. He's played well with the Jets here, especially in his last 3 games, where he's put up 4 goals, 2 assists, 10 shots on net, hitting 9.5, 27.5, and 29 DraftKings points in those 3 games, playing on the second line and #1 power play. Again here against his former team in the Devils, who've allowed 3.43 goals per game this year, the 6th most in the NHL. Now, with this next play here, I did end up going with Lucas Raymond. Almost highlighted Kurashev of the Chicago Blackhawks at $4,800. I definitely think he's in play against Anaheim tonight, but if we look at Raymond's last 5 games, he's been on fire, scoring 7 goals, 1 assist, 15 shots on net, averaging 18 DraftKings points per game, playing on their second line and #1 power play. And then one of my favorite value plays here tonight is Anthony Duclair, getting great opportunity up on that first line and #1 power play with the Lightning right now. Really been playing some good hockey as well. 13 points now in his last 10 games, sitting in a good spot here against his former team in the San Jose Sharks. Now, moving on to the defensemen here, and there's definitely some nice value on this slate, but I'm also not going to be afraid to spend up for guys like Victor Hedman of the Tampa Bay Lightning. He's been playing some good hockey here as of late with 13 points, 22 shots on net, and 22 block shots in his last 10 games. Very well-rounded defenseman who's averaging 16 DraftKings points per game during that stretch. I like stacking him up with that Lightning #1 power play tonight, and a great spot on the road against San Jose. Same thing here with Seth Jones, been playing some really good hockey as of late, a very well-rounded defenseman. I like stacking him up with that Chicago #1 power play, or really any one of those forwards from their first line, primarily Kurashev and Bedard. But we're looking at this matchup here against Anaheim. This team's allowed the second most goals in the NHL this year, has the third worst penalty kill, and leads the league in minor penalties per game. And then I'm not going to be afraid to go back to Cam York here. The Flyers tonight still sitting in that mid-4K range and playing lights-out hockey as of late. I understand this is a tough matchup on the road tonight against Carolina, but York has been blocking shots at a very high rate too. You can see there he's averaging close to 3.5 per game over his last 10. And then another slate here where there's some decent value in the 3K range tonight. I got a handful of guys listed there as well if you're looking for some of those cheaper defenseman plays. And then I got a couple of goaltenders here for you. And I really like the way that the Carolina Hurricanes have been playing in general as of late. Both their goalies have been super solid, and I believe that Frederik Andersen's going to get the start here tonight. Now, obviously, he's been on the IR for most of the season, but since returning, he's been fantastic, going 4-0-0 in his last 4 games with a save percentage of .949, goals allowed average of 1.26, averaging close to 19 DraftKings points per game. Like I said, I just love the way that the Carolina Hurricanes have been playing in general as of late. They're 8-2-0 now in their last 10 games, allowing just 2 goals per game during that stretch. And then a slightly cheaper goaltender that I like here tonight is Jake Allen of the New Jersey Devils. Now, obviously, his season stats don't look great, being that he played with the Canadiens for most of the year, but since being traded to the Devils, he has truly looked awesome. In his last 3 games, he's gone 2-1-0 with a save percentage of .946, goals allowed average of 2.00, averaging 23.5 DraftKings points per game. Now, he is still primarily a tournament or GPP goaltender for me, but he's shown some really nice upside since being traded to New Jersey. And as always, going to wrap up this video here with 3 low-priced options or sub-4K forward plays. First guy that I got is Jake Neighbors. I kind of went back and forth between him and Braden Shen, but both those guys playing up on the first line right now with Robert Thomas, as well as the Blues #1 power play, and a good spot here on the road tonight against the Ottawa Senators. I'm going to keep going back to Kuznetsov here, the Carolina Hurricanes, as long as he remains here in the 3K range, currently playing on their second line and #2 power play. And then Andre Burakovsky starting to find his game here as of late with the Kraken. He's been banged up all year long, but currently playing on that second line right now and #2 power play. Alright everyone, that is going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank y'all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great day here, folks. Let's win some money on this 11-game slate. And in the meantime, I'm out of here.